to order. Elections meeting where we may like to meet late, but we try to vote early. I've been thinking of that one all day. I hope everybody appreciates that. We're going to go straight into the agenda here. House Bill number 289. This is a bill that was part of a bill that we passed last year, and it passed both chambers, and it was a bill that was vetoed for a different reason. But it simply it revises the terms and the election cycles of elections commissioners in districts 2 and 4. Essentially, this moves them so they're not running at the same time as the circuit clerks are, so that you don't have election officials running at the exact same time. There are 5 elections commissioners, 5 districts. 1, 3, and 5 stay the same, but this staggers 2 and 4 to be on a different election cycle. So that's the reasons, and that's what the bill does. Are there any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion? Motion is title sufficient, do pass. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Thank you. That will be reported out. House Bill number 291. We have some strike all language on this one, essentially to bring in some language. Senator Barnett had a similar bill, and we had to move some paragraphs around to make everything work. But what the bill does is it requires a candidate receive a majority vote in county elections during elections. So when I spoke with the chairman on the other side, this is his bill, and he said they had an election recently where someone won the county election with 29% of the vote because of the number of candidates you had on the ballot. And the idea is that we should have candidates win with a majority vote. That's what this bill does. Any questions on this bill? All right, if not, do I have a motion? Okay, motion is title sufficient, do pass, strike all. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, that bill passes and will be reported out. House Bill number 293. We have congressional primaries changing the time to hold during presidential elections. This is our U.S. congressman. Again, this is something that was asked for by each of our 4 U.S. House members. When it went, the House version, we kept one part of the House version, and that was to deal with members of the levy board. One of the members of the House realized that these elections would occur at the same time as the primaries, so we brought those forward and included those here so that they get to have the March primaries as well. And we added our language, or we kept our language from our bill that we passed that moves the qualifying deadline back 30 days to allow the timelines to match up. That's what this bill does. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, have a motion. Motion is title sufficient, do pass, strike all. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, that bill will be reported out. House Bill number 724. This is strike all language. If you'll remember, which seems like a year ago now, but a couple of weeks ago, we passed a bill to create an elections crime whenever there was a willful failure to transmit a voter's ballot. We had an amendment in our bill in committee by Senator Blunt to make this a misdemeanor as opposed to a felony. I've talked with the Attorney General's office, and they are also okay with that. They were okay with our language, so we are doing a strike all to put our language into the House bill, and that's what we're doing here. Any questions on this bill? Seeing none, do I have a motion? Motion is title sufficient, do pass, strike all. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, that bill will be reported out. Final bill on today's agenda is House Bill 1419. This bill is one that we saw last year. We considered, I don't think we brought it even to committee, but the bill will prohibit boards of supervisors from closing a polling place within 60 days prior to an election unless there's an exigent circumstance. The bill also provides requirements for how to notify the general public when these polling places are closed according to this new law. And you do have to also put a notice on the old location. I assume if the old location is still there, if it has burnt down, I'm assuming you would just put a stake in the ground and put it there to let people know where they need to go vote. But apparently there was some confusion happening when these would close under short notice. And we certainly don't want voters to show up at polls that have been moved without them knowing it. That's what this bill does in general. Are there any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion? Motion is title sufficient, do pass. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, well, before I entertain our final motion, I do want to mention that I do expect to have one final elections meeting on Tuesday. I'll try to have it a little earlier, but not too early, Senator Bryan. We'll wait until after the lunchtime hour at least and meet again on some other bills that I'm just looking at, but maybe two others. But thank you all for being here late this afternoon. Do I have a motion to rise and report? All right. Thank you all.